What is up, YouTube? It is Prodigy Boss here, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to basically use a Raspberry Pi Zero or any type of Raspberry Pi. So this tutorial will be the easiest methods to basically getting the Raspberry Pi's operating system onto your computer. Now, this method should technically work for any operating system, any computer, but I am on a MacBook Air, so that's what I will be demonstrating on. So, first step is to acquire Raspberry Pi, which you should have already done, and then you are going to need basically a little storage chip. So what you're going to want to look up is microSD card. And then I'm going to go to images just to show you what I mean. And here's what you're going to want to get. So you're going to want to get both of these, not this exact type, but you're going to want to get like a bigger storage chip and then a smaller one, and then the smaller one needs to be able to fit into the bottom part. So I will look up a good example. I'm just going to say SanDisk or Amazon brand, or those are good. So you should have one of these and one of these. And then once you do that, you need to have that acquired, and then you are going to want to install. So open a new tab and search Pi Imager, and then it should be the first link, Raspberry Pi software, and you're going to want to go Raspberry Pi Imager, and then you're going to want to download it. I already have it installed, but then you are going to need to basically image that little SD card and adapter that you just got. So I will show you guys how to do that. Okay, everyone, so now you should have these two parts, so the little SD card and the bigger one, and then there should be a little tiny slit on the bottom of this, and you are going to go ahead and put the SD card into the bottom of the bigger one till it kind of fits in and clicks, and then you are ready to insert it into your computer. Okay, everyone, so we are now in the Pi Imager, which is the app we just installed, and we now are going to take our little card and put it into our computer. If you are running on a Mac and you do not have a basically a slot to put it in through, or on any other computers, I suggest just buying an adapter like I did. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in right here. You might need to kind of tinker with it to get it in. There we go. And I'm going to plug it into my computer. Now that that is plugged in, I am using a Raspberry Pi Zero, so I'm going to go next. I'm using this one. And right here, that is the storage drive that I connected. And I am going to just name it. That was from other projects I didn't complete. I'll just name it Pi Main. That's a decent name. And then this is actually not where I live. I just have put that in. Username Prodigy Boss YT. And I'm just gonna do blah 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 blah. And then copy that. Command A, Command C. It may not work, I don't know. But I'm just gonna do, I'm not actually gonna create this, I'm just doing 1, 2, 3, 4. Next. And then it's going to want your Wi-Fi stuff. I'm going to go ahead and type mine in. And then you go ahead and put your Wi-Fi password in. And then click next. And then you're going to want to use password authentication and make sure you have SSH enabled. Next. And if you are just starting with Raspberry Pi, I do not suggest turning on Pi Connect. If you are experienced with Raspberry Pi, you can turn this on. And then the summary. So we have this, and then I'm going to click write. And then and warning, this is going to erase all of the stuff on this drive. Now for me, that is perfectly fine, because this is a brand new drive and you need to have a completely blank one or something that you don't really need. I suggest buying a brand new one, otherwise it could cause errors. So I'm going to erase and do this. So, and then it's going to write that on to your drive. So once that is there, really easy, it may prompt you for your password. I'm going to go ahead and put that in. And then it says writing. This may take a while depending on your device and its storage. As you can see, it says limited storage device speed. That will commonly happen on most computers that have been used for over 2 months. It's just a common thing. That's perfectly normal. And then once it is done writing, it will give you a done summary. And if you encounter any errors, please contact my friend Me's Randoms. He will tell me what the errors were, and I will make a post on how to fix those errors. So once that is all done writing it, I'm just going to go ahead and cancel it. I will go ahead and see you guys what you do next. Okay guys, so connection wise, we will have to turn on our Pi. So you may need to buy one of these cables, or it might come with your Pi. What you need to buy is a micro USB cable that you can plug into your wall and then have the little micro USB, as you guys can see. And then plug that in to your Pi very gently. This is very fragile. And it should look like that. And then I'm going to flip it on. And you should see a little light right there just start flashing. That means it is booted up, and then it is ready to start connecting to your computer. Okay everyone, so now we are going to want to go into our terminal on our computer. If you're on a Chromebook, you may need to enable this in your settings. But then we are going to want to put in this code. And so when it says SSH, and then, so put this in, but then when it says your custom username, you're going to put in the username that you did for that Pi, and then your custom host name, you're going to put in right there, and then you can run that, and then you can easily connect to your Pi. Now, if you don't want to use this method, then there is a method that's much easier. If you don't want to use any terminal or any code or anything like that, you can just buy a micro USB to USB-C or something like that. I'm using a Mac, so I would do micro USB to USB-C. If you're on a Chromebook, then you could do the same thing, but I would suggest doing micro USB to USB, and then so on and so forth. That would then, you would have to allow it to you have to allow the adapter to your computer, unless you have that turned off in settings, and then you would easily be able to use your Pi. Now, Raspberry Pis can be used on different computers for different things. So in some computers, you couldn't use them as an actual computer. You might just be able to use them as a coding environment like terminal. That's common with Raspberry Pis, especially older versions of the Pi. So guys, that was how to basically set up, use your Raspberry Pi. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I will see you guys in the next one. That's Project Boss, over and out. Bye guys.